Cardinals are the most senior members of the clergy of the Catholic Church. Being second in precedence only to the Pope, they are appointed to the rank of cardinal in addition to their existing position within the Church. Collectively, they constitute the College of Cardinals and are appointed for life. Their most solemn responsibility is to participate in a conclave to elect a new pope, almost always from among themselves, when the Holy See is vacant, during the period between a pope's death or resignation and the election of his successor. The sede vacante, the day-to-day governance of the Holy See, is in the hands of the College of Cardinals. The right to enter the conclave where the pope is elected is limited to those who have not reached the age of 80 years by the day the vacancy occurs. In addition, cardinals collectively participate in papal consistories, in which matters of importance to the Church are considered and new cardinals may be created. Cardinals of working age are also appointed to roles overseeing dicasteries of the Roman Curia, the central administration of the Catholic Church. Cardinals are drawn from a variety of backgrounds, being appointed as cardinals in addition to their existing roles within the Church. Most cardinals are current or retired bishops or archbishops leading dioceses around the world, often the most prominent diocese in their country. Others are titular bishops who are current or former officials within the Roman Curia. A very small number are priests recognized by the Pope for their service to the Church. As canon law requires, they are generally consecrated as bishops before they are made cardinals. But some are granted a papal dispensation. There are no strict criteria for elevation to the College of Cardinals. Since 1917, a potential cardinal must already be at least a priest. But laymen have been cardinals in the past. The selection is entirely up to the Pope and with tradition his only guide. There is disagreement about the origin of the term, but consensus that cardinalis, from the word cardo, was first used in late antiquity to designate a bishop or priest who was incorporated into a church for which he had not originally been ordained. In Rome, the first persons to be called cardinals were the deacons of the 7 regions of the city. At the beginning of the 6th century, when the word began to mean principal, eminent, or superior, the name was also given to the senior priest in each of the title churches of Rome and to the bishops of the 7 sees surrounding the city. By the 8th century, the Roman cardinals constituted a privileged class among the Roman clergy. They took part in the administration of the Church of Rome and in the papal liturgy. By decree of a synod of 769, only a cardinal was eligible to become Bishop of Rome. Cardinals were granted the privilege of wearing the red hat by Pope Innocent IV in 1244. In cities other than Rome, the name cardinal began to be applied to certain churchmen as a mark of honor. The earliest example of this occurs in a letter sent by Pope Zacharias in 747 to Pippin III, ruler of the Franks, in which Zacharias applied the title to the priests of Paris to distinguish them from country clergy. This meaning of the word spread rapidly, and from the 9th century various episcopal cities had a special class among the clergy known as cardinals. The use of the title was reserved for the cardinals of Rome in 1567 by Pius V. In 1059, the right of electing the Pope was reserved to the principal clergy of Rome and the bishops of the 7 suburbicarian sees. In the 12th century, the practice of appointing ecclesiastics from outside Rome as cardinals began, with each of them assigned a church in Rome as his titular church or linked with one of the suburbicarian dioceses, while still being incarnated in a diocese other than that of Rome. The term cardinal at one time applied to any priest permanently assigned or incarnated to a church, or specifically to the senior priest of an important church, based on the Latin cardo, meaning pivotal, as in principal, or chief. The term was applied in this sense as early as the 9th century to the priests of the tituli of the Diocese of Rome. In the year 1563, the Ecumenical Council of Trent, headed by Pope Pius IV, wrote about the importance of selecting good cardinals. Nothing is more necessary to the Church of God than that the Holy Roman Pontiff apply that solicitude which by the duty of his office he owes the universal Church in a very special way by associating with himself as cardinals the most select persons only, and appoint to each church most eminently upright and competent shepherds. And thus the more so, because our Lord Jesus Christ will require at his hands the blood of the sheep of Christ that perish through the evil government of shepherds who are negligent and forgetful of their office. The earlier influence of temporal rulers, notably the French kings, Rius,